Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. Wanted to check out the vendor weapon rolls for you guys this week. It's been a crazy Nightfall attempt week, as you guys saw in my video I posted recently. You can check that one out on my page, card up here at the top. That one was insane. So yeah, about 6 hours, brutal. Definitely can't even try and finish the Sunrise bounty, just not the week for it. So solo on that one, pretty rough. Anyway, let's go jump into the vendors and see what they've got to offer us, if there's anything good at all. Here we go. First, we step over at New Monarchy. Nothing really amazing here, but a couple if you want to goof around. First, you've got the Free Will hand cannon. So you've got Hammer Forged, always on hand cannon, decent booster range on something that's already pretty reasonable as it is. You got explosive rounds and Outlaw also as an option, but you've got reactive reload. So if you can get a kill with this gun, reload it, basically get some bonus damage, and then explosive rounds get some nice bonus damage there, it might be alright. But another one you guys might want to check out is actually the Assembly 2. Now, this one is going to be somewhat hard to control. But you've got Rangefinder, Hammer Forged for a booster range, High Caliber Rounds another booster range, and then you've got some decent scopes here. So all pretty reasonable. You could go Roto if you want to get a little more stability on this weapon instead of the range. Just kind of depends on how you feel. But just the range on this one is pretty low, so a boost to it. But again, if you want to mess around with a high auto rifle with high caliber rounds, it could be something in PvE if you just want to goof around with it, see how it works. A lot of high caliber rounds should potentially stagger some enemies, so you could have some fun with that. But again, nothing great here, so if you don't love anything at New Monarchy, I won't blame you this week. Next, we come to Dead Orbit, and we've got a decent scout rifle here, the Keystone 01. You got Hidden Hand, Outlaw, and explosive rounds. Pretty reasonable. You got small bore as well. I mean, you don't need a ton of shots with the scout rifle to kill anybody in PvP, and that's probably where I would see this gun most useful. But a bonus to target acquisition on both Hidden Hand and the lens here. You don't need range, and the stability is fairly low, but if you can land your shots with this one, you can get some decent reload speed out of it. Explosive rounds might give you a little bit of extra damage. And then Hidden Hand itself, and again, explosive rounds on this one also can be beneficial for something along the lines of like killing Shanks in Wrath of the Machine. But Hidden Hand, Outlaw, explosive rounds, and focused lens could be a fun one to mess around with in PvP. On the other end, we've got a rocket launcher just in case you need one with tracking. You never quite know. But an arc tracking rocket launcher with javelin, so a boost to velocity, and field scout as well. Doesn't have the biggest blast radius really, so this one is not one that I would say is desirable for PvP. But if you need one for tracking for PvE, you're at least probably going to hit your target as you can track it. So javelin for a boost to speed, tracking there. And then you could probably go with hard launch to give those a little bit of a boost. Just in case you need a tracking rocket launcher, there's one here. Here at Future War Cult, we've got a couple ones to take a look at. We've got the Waiting, which is actually a pretty decent looking fusion rifle. You can see you've got very high impact with a low charge rate, but we do have accelerated coil, so you're going to give up a little impact for higher charge rate, but honestly, this thing's still going to hit very hard. You've got Rangefinder to improve the range when you are aimed down sights, giving these a little faster movement through the air, the little projectiles. And also you got Perfect Balance. So that's going to be a tighter grouping of projectiles, so if you do hit, you're likely to hit more of them. Finally, you've got the red dot scope. No, these aren't really going to change too much. If you don't want Perfect Balance, you could always go knee pads, use this thing in PvP, hit somebody with like 3 or 4 of these with Perfect Balance though, you're probably going to kill them, so not too bad of a fusion rifle here. Then we've got the Wormwood. You've got Rangefinder, fitted stock, and high caliber rounds on a higher impact sidearm, so not too shabby of a one here. You've got the Sure Shot IS as well, a little extra target acquisition, so not too shabby here on the sidearm category. And then also if you want a tracking rocket launcher with a big blast radius but slower velocity, you get tracking, you get heavy payload, which increases blast radius, which you don't need to worry about anyway. But if you go with something like, say, soft launch, you can probably make up for the difference of heavy payload with soft launch, and those two together still have pretty much a max blast radius, boost the velocity, and you can have fast reload speed or just snapshots, so aim it pretty quickly. In case you need those tracking rocket launchers for PvE, thought I'd throw them in there for you guys. The Vanguard Quartermaster has a couple ones to look at this week. First, we've got the Parthian Shot. You've got counterbalance, so the recoil is going to be very vertical. Then you've got hand laid stock, giving up some range, but for a huge boost in stability. And then you've got Rodeo, even more stability. So this thing's going to be really, really stable. Range won't be quite perfect, but honestly, you're going to be able to land a lot of headshots with this thing, and you can pair it up with either the steady hand, so a little reload speed and stability, or if you want some of that range back, go with the rifle scope. So between both of those, you can have a pretty viable pulse rifle here. Definitely one to consider getting. Then we've got the scout rifle on the other side. You've got hidden hand. You've got hand laid stock, where range doesn't matter nearly as much on a scout rifle. You've got great target acquisition for those headshots, a great stability boost, even more stability here, and you can go range lens if you want a little extra stability, and that, recoil control. The reflex should be fine, either one of those, but range lens might be fun as you're going to be going at range anyway. Finally, if you want to come down here to the Bone Crusher, you're going to have a pretty solid, reliable gun. Persistence, the longer you lay out the bullets, you're going to be getting more accuracy. And hand-laid stock, so you can see that makes it at least about a third on stability, giving up some range, and if you take this in PvE, you'd probably be okay. Life support, another great benefit per PvE to get some of that health back, or if you're trading bullets with somebody. And then you can go smart drift control. You're going to have a little bit of impact. You're going to get another boost of stability, getting this thing over half. Or you can go down here for soft ballistics, give up a little more impact, get some range and more stability. Either way, pretty good, pretty solid stability between both of these. Life support to get some of that health back if you're either trading bullets in a PvE situation. And then if you're dumping damage out on a boss, for example, or something like that, fire is more accurate the longer you hold it down. So not too shabby here. Honestly, if you need a machine gun, this is pretty reasonable. At the Crucible Quartermaster, we've got about 3 or 4 to look over here. First, we've got the Scout Rifle, the Hero Formula. Very similar to one we looked at earlier. Target acquisition. Rodeo. Hand-laid stock for that boost of stability. And Focus Lens. Going to have that excellent target acquisition. Sharpshooter scope. So, good range, good stability. Extra boost of those headshots. Not too shabby. Then we've got the Palindrome. Already, you've got an ultra-high impact hand cannon. And now you're going to boost the range to it as well. So, this can have one of the higher ranges for sure, so this gets a boost. And you've got Rangefinder, so double whammy on the range. You've got Mulligan here. That would be the one I'd probably choose over Icarus. I'm not one who jumps up in the air, but if you are, you can use that. But personally, Mulligan, in case you miss one of those shots, you might have one more shot to get that kill if you need it in PvP. And the True Sight IS is probably the one I would stick with here because you got that headshot target acquisition as well. Down here, we've got the Anton's Rule sidearm. This thing's going to be very stable. You got Rangefinder, little boost of range when ADS, fitted stock, Zen Moment for some stability, and then you've got Sure Shot IS down here as well for a little bit of headshot bonus. So that one's not too shabby. And then finally, if you need another tracking rocket launcher, but this one in Void, we've got that covered as well. So if you need a tracking rocket launcher in any flavor, there's one at every place. So just check it out. Here at the Gunsmith, we've got a couple of hand cannons, the Judith D, the Kumakatok HC4, the Ufrin HC4. These two are going to be higher impact. The Kumakatok's very low. Both of these have fairly low range. This one is like highest impact that's out there, but it's just hard to control the thing. Kicks like a mule. And you've got the Azume RR4, a low aim assist, low impact sniper rifle. If you can find a use for that, let me know. The only one I would consider taking a look at is the Tamar D. It's a Hake sniper rifle, the only ones that can get that surplus perk on it. If you pair that one with something like Spray and Play, you've got a really ammo-efficient, boss-dealing damage sniper rifle that's going to be in that middle impact range. So, of all of them, check out the Tamar D. You can probably skip the rest personally, but that's just me. And that wraps up the top vendor rolls and the Gunsmith, of course, for the week of May 2nd to May 8th. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop that like down below. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, I will keep the content coming your way, so always appreciate those. Channel keeps growing. Thank you guys for the support. And if you guys have any questions, leave those in the comments below, and I will try and answer those as quick as possible. Check out my Nightfall video. That one was a fun struggle, and I'm going to try and put a Nightfall fail video for you guys later, so you can see all the struggling, painful deaths that we're in. So, hope you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.